Alright, fantastic. So you'd like some information on how our 5-star member-rated 6 Steps to Slim fat loss program and weight management community works. If you just give me a few minutes, I'll explain to you how the whole thing works, and then if you like the idea and sound of it, because I guarantee it's going to be nothing like anything you've ever heard or tried before, then we've got a 2-week free trial and you can check it out any time that you want. And I'll say this before we start, it's not even a fake free trial. It's not one of those things where you've got to pay and then get the money back later or anything like this. You can actually just check it out for free. You can check out the coaching, the education, the support, the community. You can start losing weight. There's nothing withheld. There's no secret areas. There's nothing you can't see or do. You can just come and you can join us and you can start moving forward too. And then, well, if you don't like it, if you don't like the program, you don't like me, that is fine. You're not contracted into it in any way at any point. There is not a single person on the 6 Steps to Slim program who is contracted in or forced to be there for even 1 second than they want to be. So you can come and check it out, and then if after you like the free trial and you want to stick with us through, then that'd be absolutely fantastic. But if you don't, then no pressure. If you do want to stick it through with us after, then it'll be £36 per month, essentially until you want it to stop. Because again, you're not contracted into it anyway, you can leave any time. It actually does standing order from you to us, so that puts you in full control over it at all times. But if you stick with us until you achieve your fat loss goal, and then after this, if then, when you achieve your fat loss goal, we cancel the payment to the program, we'll say, well, hey, congratulations, but then, well, the game's not over for you, is it? Because then you've got to try and maintain that fat loss progress and that work that you've done, and we're going to be there to support you afterwards as well. We're not just going to kick you out at the end. Bye! And then good luck with that one. We're not going to do that. So you cancel the payment to the program, and then we have a free secondary section to the program where we keep working with you for roughly about the same amount of months as stones that you've lost, and this is the maintenance section. This is where we work on long-term follow-up habits and then maintaining that success. So we keep working with you after for the follow-up period. It's different lengths for different people. It depends what you feel like you need, but we'll keep working together for free, but we'll keep working together pretty closely, not too intensely, because you're not still trying to lose weight, but still pretty closely to make sure we're still on it until everything settles down and the habits settle down, until you're happy and comfortable and in control of that new weight and that new shape and size or whatever your goal was. Even after that, you've still got free access to all the program in the future. You're still not kicked out. If in a few pounds, if in a few weeks or a few years you gain back a few pounds or something like that, that's fine. It's not one of those things where you've got to start paying again in the future to use it again or anything like this. You can just have continued access to the program. Anything we can do at the end to help you maintain the work that you've done. A little bit of a thank you from us. So I've already gotten into it on the explanation, but that is the first half of it. So it starts off with a 2-week free trial and you can check it out anytime. And then after that, after the 2-week free trial, you're not contracted into it anyway, but then it's only £36 per month until you achieve your goal, which I suppose, like all things in life, the faster you do it, the cheaper it is. It's no pressure or rush from me. It's entirely up to you how fast or slow you lose weight. That's one of the best parts of the program. The entire program, which I'll be explaining to you in a second, is in your control, but it's just a little bit of a booster to try and get there to the end, isn't it? And then another big reward when you get to the end is the free maintenance section, where we'll work on maintaining that work we've done, and then lifetime free follow-up after as a thank you from us. Absolutely awesome. If that makes sense, then I'll move on to part number 2, which in this explanation, then I'm going to go through what you'll actually do on our 6 Steps to Slim program if you come and join us. And I'll interrupt myself again before I continue. You don't have to remember, by the way, anything that I'm talking about on this video. If you join the program, you will be coached by me. I will be running, yes, okay, there are other people in the program. Yes, there are other coaches that support me too, but it will be me and it will be you. I will be running you through the program. I will be with you every step of the way. If you stay in contact with me, then I'll know where you're at and you'll know where I'm at. So the program will run you through it again. All of this information will be sent to you. You'll be going through it again, and then I'll be going through it with you personally again and again. So you don't have to worry about remembering it right now. I'm just giving you a feeler for it because this is going to be a little bit different to anything you've done or tried before, and that is, I promise you, one of the reasons why our success rate is so high. Our program has been created for people where all the other fad diets and fat loss programs and meal plan this and rule book that, and it's not worked. It's not worked for people. The other fat loss programs, they do work for people, but I'm not bothered about those people. They're already slim. They've already done it. If you're here, then you're needing help, and I'm worried about you. So I've made this program for people like you, for people where the things in the past, it's either worked a little bit and then it's come back, or it's just flat out not worked before. We use a different perspective, different methods. It's a completely different game with us. The way that it works is it's nice and simple. There's actually only 3 things that you have to do when you're running the fat loss program, okay? The first one is there's a series of educational videos, not dissimilar to this one you're watching right now, where you will go through a series of educational lectures, and it teaches you everything you need to know. Again, about how to run the program, but about how fat loss works, about how your metabolism works, about not other people's metabolisms, your metabolism. We teach you about how exercise plays into this as well, about how all different diets work, about how all different foods work and how they affect you. What this does is this gives you power and you control. Do you know when you go to people and you join their fat loss program, or you go to see a nutritionist or a personal trainer and they give you a meal plan, or they tell you what they want you to eat to achieve your goal? One of the big opposites and switches on our program is I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to tell you what I want you to eat. You know how you go to somebody and then they see your goal and then they decide what you should eat. Instead, you know what I'm going to do on our program? I'm going to teach you this time what they know. I'm going to teach you how to do my job. I'm going to teach you just, because it's only food, you know. I guarantee it is not that complicated. You know, these people making these meal plans and these fat loss programs, they're not smarter than you. It's not that complicated. It's just food, and it's your diet and your lifestyle. So how do you expect them or me to know you? So rather than that, we're going to skip all that. I'm going to teach you how to create your own meal plans. I'm going to teach you about food so that, like an adult, you can make your own food decisions. The way that we do this is, number 1, you follow your way around an educational series of videos. You only have to watch 2 videos to finish the program, so it's not even intense. There's an intro video, which I'll send you when you join the free trial. This will remind you again how to run the program, but it will also talk to you specifically about how we are going to 100% guarantee that your weight comes down. And your weight will come down within the first 3 days. If it doesn't, I'm just going to be a little bit blank with this. It's because you've done it wrong. Fat loss is a science, okay? Do you know things that are science? They're called science because they work every single time. Testable and repeatable. Fat loss, we know the variables, we know how it works. We'll test your metabolism, we'll figure out how fast your metabolism is, and then we'll adjust your food accordingly. You'll adjust the food accordingly in your ways, which I'll be speaking to you about in a second. You're going to love this. It's going to make it easier than any other diet program you've decided to do before and you've tried before, but we're going to adjust the food and then it's going to work. The weight is going to come down. Every single person experiences multiple weight drops before the end of the 2-week free trial. Oh, I'll take a little breather and then I'll continue. So then after that, once and only once, your weight's already started coming down, then there's a top-up video, secondary lecture, part 2 to the intro video, essentially, where we talk to you about the other mandatory information. It's about how to keep that fat loss going, because you know how you start some fat loss programs or weight loss programs, it goes well for a while and then it stalls. Well, guess what? We've got information on why that happens to people, why that might happen to you, but if it does, what we're going to do about it. Fat loss works every time and it does not stop on our program. Lecture 2 teaches you how to get over weight stalls and how to keep motivation and momentum. And because you've lost weight before, haven't you? The problem is, number 1, keeping it off, number 2, keeping it going. Lecture 2 on our program teaches you about both of those things. After that, and I'm going to try and hurry up a little bit, there are 10 more lectures going around the educational system, and you don't have to watch these. It's not all the information you need to know, but it's all the information you might want to know, and it's there literally for the good of your health. To the extent that you work on the other 10 optional lectures, the fat loss will either become easier, faster, or more sustainable, or some blend or accumulation of all 3. So if you only want to do the minimum and you just want to get the result and you want it to be as easy as simple as possible, you just check out those 2 lectures and you're done. If you're somebody who wants to do a little bit more and learn a bit more, then we've got a whole lot more. Okay, so part 1, you in your own time, no rush or pressure from us, 2 mandatory, extra videos after if you want to. You go around the educational system, you learn what you need to know and what you need to do, not only to lose weight now, but to keep it off too, okay? Part 2 of the program, again, you don't have to remember this, people, is you're going to do weekly goal setting with me, and you don't even have to remember to do that either. The entire program's run through Facebook, so it's in a closed community. That means nobody can see that you've joined, nobody can see what goes on inside, nobody can see what you do. You can't see inside the program right now. You can barely even see that it exists until you check out the 2-week free trial. And the program over the weekend will prompt you, and it will prompt you multiple times spread out so that you can't pretend you've forgotten. To post your goals and check in with me. This is your minimum mandatory feedback to me. Once per week, myself and you, we will do assessment and adjustment of the program, and then based on this, we will do goal setting. Myself and you, once per week, we will set goals together that you're going to try for the next week. Going ahead, that is part 2 of the program. Again, you'll be reminded on Facebook to do this. It'll go ping, post your goals. Ping, you better post your goals. Ping, post your goddamn people. It'll remind you over and over until you do it. There's no major forms to fill out. on this goal setting or goal post, there's no time you have to be anywhere at any specific time or anything like this. I'd just like to get a message from you with how you're feeling on the program. Have you watched any of the educational videos? Did it make sense? Do you have questions? Is your weight coming down? Or are you getting slimmer? Because these are the things that we want. And then based on this, we will set specific targets. If you say to me, hey Connor, I've lost 1 pound this week, but that kind of sucks. It's going to take ages. I'd like to do more. Then okay, I'll say, have you watched any of the additional videos? Do you know any other goals you might want to work on? You might say, yes, I'd like to work on this, and then we'll start doing it. You might say, no Connor, I don't know actually. Do you have any suggestions? Of course I do. And then I'll give you a few little options, and then we'll start working on those. You might say, hey Connor, I've lost 2 pound this week and I'm feeling great. Then I'll say, okay, cool. Same goal, same actions, same result. Let's just run it through again. No changes. You'll get 2 pound a week every week until the end. Let's go. You might say, hey Connor, I've lost 2 pound, but I want more. Okay, we can add more goals. You might say, hey, I've lost 3 pound, but this week it was a little bit tough. I've been struggling, I've been a little bit tired, and I think that might be a bit too much. You might want to scale it back. Some weeks you might find it a little bit tough. You might go on holiday, you want to scale it back. You might want to take a weekend break. We can relax it. We can move it forwards, backwards, easier or harder, faster weight loss, slower weight loss. Anytime, all the time, based on how you feel and what your results are and what you want them to be. That is the game. So how do we get these goals? Number one, you learn them through conversations with me and through being in and around the 6 Steps to Slim program and the 6 Steps to Slim members online. And then you also learn about the goals you can pick from and what you can do through following that educational system round. Make sense? So part 1, follow the education system to learn what you can do. Part 2, set goals with me. We're going to choose as a team, myself and you, what we're actually going to do. Part 3, last one, is after we've set the goals, nice and basic, you just try the goals. So you're going to try and run the goals through for the next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. When it gets around to the weekend, we assess and we adjust. If you didn't like the goal or the goals you've picked, we can sack them off and we can try something different. There are many paths to the same destination, aren't there? There's not one set method. There's no foods I'm going to make you eat. There's no foods I'm going to make you cut out. We have to do some certain things, like we have to drop calories to lose fat. We have to create a calorie deficit. This is the game. But how you create that calorie deficit, this is the big crux of our program. I don't mind. I only care about 2 things. Number 1, are you doing it? Is it working? And number 2, are you enjoying it? Are you happy? I don't want you to eat like I eat. There's no 2 of my members that eat the same. I don't want you to eat like any of my other members. I don't want you to eat like anybody else. I want you to find a way. I want us to find a way of you eating like you, but in a healthier and happy way, a way that you can eat the foods that you like and you enjoy, that also keeps the weight the way that you want it to be, and you the shape that you want to be as well. That's our game. So it's weekly goal setting and it's weekly adjustments, and then part 3 is you try the goals and run it through. We assess and we adjust. The only other thing you can do is feedback. Do you remember I said on part 2 that you've got a once a week minimum mandatory feedback to me just for goal setting so that we can set targets together? Well, your maximum amount of feedback is infinite. You can book calls with me or the other supporting coaches anytime throughout the program. Yes, it has to be a day or 2 in advance. I've got a schedule, but you can book calls anytime that you want to chat. You can have meetings. We have group meetings. If you're local to South Yorkshire, you can book private meetings if you're, again, local, or if you want to travel and come see me, please, or online or Skype calls anytime. You'll be prompted by the program, not only to post your goals on a weekend, but you'll be prompted every day at 7 p.m. to check in with us and to just please let us know how are you doing. If it's going well, let us know. We want to know. We want to congratulate you. If it's not going well, then please let us know, because it's my job to fix it. So you'll be prompted every day. You'll be reminded. You'll be private messaged. The program will ping you constantly. The more you feedback, the better results you get. The more questions you ask, the more you learn, the better results you'll get, isn't it? That's what you want, and in blatant honesty, that's what makes our program look good, isn't it? We survive and thrive on our members' fantastic results. I do basically no marketing for this program because the people are the marketing. We put all of our effort and time into making sure every single one of our members is supported every single day. Every single one of their questions is answered and their results are the way they want them to be. And then people talk about our program because they are becoming healthier and happier, and they just can't help it. They're glowing and people notice. So it's in our interest to give you as much support as you want and need. You don't have to take it. That you only have to do once a week. Some people just like to just set the goals and then they just get on with it. But some people like a lot of support, and we're there for that too, if that's you. So let me know what you think to that then on the program. If you want to try it, like I said, it's a 2-week free trial. After that, it's £36 per month until either you want to stop or your goals achieved. If the goal's achieved, then it's free access and free follow-up. Pow pow. The steps of the process are you'll watch an educational series of lectures, you'll do weekly goal setting with me based on what you've learned, and then you'll try the goals and we'll feed back to each other as much as possible for assessment, adjustment, support, motivation, habit change, and mindfulness creation. All that good stuff that gets the job done, not only now but going forward. If you like the idea or sound of that, then please scroll down, click that contact us, send me a message, it comes straight through to me, I will get back to you. You can contact me through the Facebook page, anything. Send me a text, you can find my phone number some places, just contact me somehow. And we'll get started. Again, no pressure or rush from me, we'll get started whenever you're ready. The free trial and all the rest of it, even the goals that you choose and the foods that you eat and the rate of weight loss, it will all be in your control. Thank you for listening, hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.